In a lot of traditional spiritual paths, you might see that if I go and ask someone whether they want to get interviewed for a YouTube channel, they'll be like, oh, what is there to talk? What is there to share the experience? This is an inner experience. Let us not talk about it. Or the act of creating videos, creating content is often considered flippant, unless you are of a really some very, very respected person who has a lot of knowledge, and then they will put out some content as a great help to everyone. So the dynamics are a little different, but especially in the younger spiritual paths that are coming along, like Isha Foundation specifically, content creation is seen a lot more positively. So how can it really help? Does it really help the sadhaka if we are creating a lot of YouTube or any other social media content on spirituality? So definitely, if you've seen my own video about my experience of creating spiritual content, you will see it actually played a very fundamental role in developing my spiritual thoughts, and that whole aspect was a very big part of my spiritual journey. And as I kept orienting my life more and more towards my spiritual tendencies, that whole aspect of creating content, blogging, and then of course creating videos has played a very significant role. And so if I was to tell you how, for you as a sadhaka, how creating a YouTube channel or any other form of content creation around spirituality can help, there are a bunch of benefits I can highlight. And one of the first ones is that it helps your oration skills. Like when you meet your friends, or you're even talking to your parents or elders in the family, or to any other people, if you want to have spiritual conversations, then having created content will really make you a lot more empowered and confident. It will really, you will know what you're speaking, and if they ask you 10 questions back, you would have thought things through, at least to some extent. I'm not saying you can answer any question, you may not be able to, but at least you will be in that frame of mind to introspect, reflect and stuff, and then be able to think things through. And this is a really big thing, especially when people want to orient their lives differently. You know, you need to often talk to people. Like if some sadhaka does not want to get married, it involves so much of talking with your parents and other people in order to convince them, or even if not convince them, like because it's your personal choice, you don't have to convince them, but at least to keep them satisfied that this person knows what they are doing. So even for that, your oration skills actually become really important. Creating content also helps you become a little objective of what your experience is, because you are articulating it, you are analyzing, evaluating, you're reflecting on your thoughts and feelings and experience, and then writing it out, and you are considering the possibility that somebody else will read it. That is why you are trying to make it easy to understand for them as well. And so this, I feel it brings a little bit of maturity within your own thinking about spiritual thinking. There is a little caveat here that everybody may not be ready for it. Like especially if you're into a deep bhakti path, do you really need to become articulate? Do you need to mature in your thinking? You may not need to if it's deeply like devotional or emotion based. So you need to figure out whether this is right for you, and especially to be sharing the experiences at the right time. Like when the experience is ready to be shared, you have to share it. If you maturely share it, then you, first of all, you may say things which you don't mean. Like if you share some experience today and after 1 week the experience is over, you feel something completely different, then it's no point. You're also misleading other people. And vice versa, sharing your experiences may affect the experience itself. So you have to be very careful you're sharing at the right time. The other very big advantage of creating content and putting it out there where other people can read it is that read it or see it, is that it creates serendipity. In fact, social media itself, one of the biggest benefits was serendipity. It basically attracts like-minded people. You don't know from where some very interesting person may contact you because of a particular video. And not just like-minded people, it actually can open a whole bunch of other avenues. For example, monetization is one thing, but other than that, some different kinds of opportunities. The other more deep aspect about this spiritual content is that you might help people on their spiritual path. You may give them small nudges which helps them move further on their path, and that would gain a lot of merit in a very traditional way of thinking. But in general, it's like doing something really good for the world. In fact, one of the things one of my old aunties keeps repeating is that one of the biggest charity that you can give to someone is the charity of Gnan. of good knowledge, of the right knowledge. That is one of the biggest charity you can give, because when you give right knowledge to someone, that right knowledge can become this huge beacon of hope and power in their own life, and that is very powerful. It's just that there is always also the opposing thing, that you may be trying to promote the best thing and it may actually end up nudging someone in the wrong direction. So that is always a little bit of a balancing factor, I would say. So we don't become too pompous that we are doing some great world changing thing by creating this content. We can be humble, because we don't know how it will nudge people. Sometimes it may nudge them in the wrong way, but we do it with the best intentions, and for the few that it will nudge in the right direction, that will be a really great good help we are doing in the world. And apart from the nudging, it's like in this world which is so noisy, and things are going haywire in terms of entertainment, in terms of lust, in terms of greed, in terms of all of the so many negative things, in that we are creating this little space where there is a little more meaning to life, little positivity to life, peace is there. I think that's very powerful, and that's a really good thing to be doing in this world. It should help. And also the fact that see, these mediums of communication are becoming very, very important. You know very well that even the traditional mediums of media, like newspapers, TV channels, all of them are being given really good competition by YouTube channels and even individual YouTubers. Some of the YouTubers have huge reach, but the point is, it's not necessarily that you have to be this big, huge, top shot YouTuber. Even as small YouTubers, we contribute to the noise that is there, or to the waves that, the waves of content that are coming along. There may be some trends which we will support. There will be some trends we will oppose, just by doing our own thing, creating these small videos. And that is very important, because these medias are very important in creating public opinion, in causing big decisions to be taken even by governments and such. So being on this media and having that spiritual voice is extremely important. So let me know if you have created your own YouTube channel as a spiritual sadhaka. Let me know what your experience is, what are the benefits you see. And if you are considering starting a channel, let me know your thoughts. What are you waiting for?